We live in an age obsessed with perfection. Every post, every achievement, every smile seems rehearsed. Yet beneath the polish, many of us feel hollow, exhausted from pretending. What if the perfection we chase is the very thing stealing our peace? The Stoics once asked, why fear imperfection when imperfection is the proof that you are alive? Like Marcus Aurelius writing by candlelight, you don't need flawless moments, you need honest ones. So before this story begins, take a breath. Let the masks fall. What if the path to peace isn't in becoming perfect, but in becoming present? Think of the silent pressure you carry every day to look strong, to be composed, to get it all right. You smile when you're breaking, you nod when you're lost. Perfection wears the mask of success but breathes fear. Fear of failure, fear of being seen as flawed. The Stoics saw this trap clearly. Seneca said, perfection is the enemy of peace. The more we polish our image, the more we distance ourselves from our soul. True strength is not in flawless performance, but in the courage to be seen as we are, incomplete yet alive. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations to impress anyone. He wrote to remind himself what truly matters now. Epictetus didn't ask us to control life, only our attention. Seneca didn't say polish your image, he said polish your soul. Stoicism teaches us that peace lives in the present moment, not in the fantasy of control. When you stop chasing the perfect version of yourself, you begin to notice the calm beneath the noise, the stillness that's been waiting inside you all along. In this video, you'll learn how to stop pretending and start living. You'll see how the Stoics transformed pain into wisdom and criticism into growth. We'll explore 7 timeless principles, from embracing imperfection to using discomfort as fuel for evolution. This isn't about escaping the chaos, but mastering it. By the end, you'll understand that power isn't born from being flawless, it's born from presence. Because the moment you stop performing for the world and start listening to your inner voice, that's when life truly begins. Principle I. Presence over perfection. Perfection is a mirage. The closer you chase it, the farther it moves. Presence, however, is real. It's the breath you take before reacting, the awareness that softens your mind, the courage to simply be here. The Stoics knew that perfection enslaves, but presence frees. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. You don't need to appear perfect. You only need to be present. When you live this way, peace is no longer a goal. It becomes your natural state. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Marcus Aurelius wasn't being dark. He was being awake. His reminder was simple. The only life you ever truly live is now. Presence is not passivity. It's participation. It's choosing awareness over distraction, honesty over appearance. The Stoic doesn't escape life. He steps fully into it. He knows that no future version of himself will bring peace if he cannot find it in this breath. History tells us that Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome during war, plague, and betrayal. Yet in the chaos, he would retreat into silence, not to escape, but to return. In a dim tent lit by one candle, he would write to himself, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Even the ruler of the known world sought stillness, because he knew presence was power. If a man surrounded by armies could find calm, so can you. Presence isn't a luxury of peace, it's the weapon that creates it. In modern life, presence means putting the phone down. It means breathing before replying. It means feeling the tension without fleeing it. The Stoics teach us that the mind is a battlefield, but you win it not by fighting harder, but by standing still. Next time anxiety rises, don't escape into perfection. Anchor into the present. Feel your feet, your breath, your surroundings. Because peace isn't found in control, it's found in connection. And the more you return to this moment, the less life passes you by. Principle 2. Progress over perfection. Perfectionism is not discipline, it's disguised fear. It whispers, wait until it's perfect, while life passes by. The Stoics rejected that illusion. They taught that movement, even clumsy movement, is sacred. Progress is not about speed, it's about direction. A single imperfect step toward virtue is worth more than a lifetime of hesitation. The Stoic path is not about being flawless, it's about becoming real. You grow not by hiding your cracks, but by walking forward with them. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And perfectionism is one of the greatest wastes. How many dreams have died because the plan wasn't perfect yet? How many words unsaid because you feared they'd fall short? The Stoic doesn't wait for perfect conditions. He acts with intention now. Because the pursuit of perfection delays life itself, but progress, steady, humble, relentless, breathes life back into your soul. There was once a sculptor who feared making a single mistake on his marble block. For years, he planned, measured, doubted, until his tools rusted and his hands forgot their strength. His apprentice, however, carved boldly. Each strike imperfect, each attempt alive. One day, the master realized. The apprentice's cracked statue breathed with more soul than all his uncut marble. The Stoics would call this wisdom, to begin before you're ready, to act while you can. Because progress, not perfection, is what turns potential into purpose. In modern life, progress means showing up even when you doubt yourself. It means writing the page that isn't perfect, speaking the truth that might shake, taking the first step though fear whispers, wait. The Stoics remind us, mastery isn't born in comfort, it's forged in motion. Stop asking, is it good enough? And start asking, is it honest? Because honest effort, repeated daily, shapes unshakable character. Progress is your true perfection, living proof that courage matters more than certainty. Principle 3. Presence in the now. We spend our lives waiting for the right moment, the right mood, the right version of ourselves. But the Stoics warned, the only time that belongs to you is now. The past is memory, the future is theory. Life is not something to plan, it is something to live. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. When you do, anxiety fades, clarity rises, and peace returns. Because life isn't hiding in tomorrow, it's happening, quietly, beneath your breath, right now. Some things are in our control, others are not. Epictetus carved this truth into the foundation of Stoic practice. When you resist what you cannot change, you create suffering. When you accept it, peace follows. The present moment is the only realm where your power exists, the space between thought and reaction. There lies freedom. You cannot control the storm, but you can control the sailor within. And in that control, you rediscover serenity. Epictetus once told his students, imagine an archer. He draws the bow with precision, aims with focus, but once the arrow leaves his hand, the outcome is no longer his. The Stoic knows this. Effort is ours, results are not. The modern mind obsesses over where the arrow lands. The wise mind honors the act of release. True mastery lies not in the target, but in the discipline of aiming with full presence. When you do your best without clinging to outcome, you win every time. To live stoically today means to return. Return from distraction, from endless scrolling, from imagined futures. Mindfulness is not a ritual, it's a rebellion. When you pause to breathe, to notice your senses, to anchor your awareness in this instant, you reclaim your power. The world pulls you outward, but presence pulls you home. Remember, the Stoic doesn't run from the storm. He stands within it, calm as gold amid gray. That stillness is your strength. Principle 4. Grace in imperfection. There is a quiet kind of power in learning to accept imperfection, not with frustration, but with grace. To look at your scars and whisper, this too is part of me. The Stoics never demanded perfection. They demanded presence, integrity, and compassion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment of it. When you stop judging your flaws and start learning from them, peace enters silently, like sunlight through broken marble. Seneca once wrote, to err is human, but to persist in error is foolish. He wasn't condemning mistakes. He was guiding us toward gentleness. Error is the tuition of wisdom. Every stumble teaches. Every failure refines. The Stoic knows that harshness breeds shame, but grace breeds growth. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. You were never meant to be flawless. You were meant to be evolving. Growth is not the opposite of imperfection. It is born from it. A craftsman once made a perfect vase, but during firing, a crack appeared down its center. He nearly threw it away until sunlight hit it, revealing beauty in the flaw. He filled the crack with gold, and it shone brighter than before. That's kintsugi, the art of embracing imperfection. The Stoics practiced the same art of the soul, transforming wounds into wisdom. Your cracks are not proof of weakness. They are proof you've lived. Let them shine. Let them speak of resilience, not regret. To practice grace is to stop punishing yourself for being human. Speak to yourself as you would to a friend. When you fall, don't curse the fall, study the ground. When others fail you, choose understanding over resentment. The Stoic doesn't excuse imperfection, he transforms it. He polishes his character, not his image. True excellence isn't spotless, it's sincere. Every day, meet your flaws with patience. Because the goal is not to be perfect, it's to be whole. Principle V. Criticism as a mirror. No one enjoys being criticized. It burns, it unsettles, it stings the ego. But to the Stoic, criticism is not poison, it's medicine. It reveals what comfort hides. The wise don't run from judgment, they reflect through it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can prove me wrong, I'll gladly change, for I seek truth, not pride." The sharp edge of critique can cut, yes, but it can also carve. And those willing to face it emerge sharper, steadier, unshakable. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Criticism humbles the mind. It forces awareness where arrogance once stood. Most people hear correction as insult. The Stoic hears it as instruction. Every comment, even the harsh ones, can be a teacher if you listen with calm, not pride. The true philosopher doesn't need praise to grow. He needs perspective. Because truth, even when delivered harshly, still refines the soul. Imagine a blacksmith forging a blade. The metal screams under fire, bends under hammer, cools under water, again and again. Each blow refines its edge. The same is true for the soul. Without friction, you remain dull. Without criticism, you remain untested. The Stoics saw adversity as a forge. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold. Adversity tests brave men." Every critique, every discomfort, is a hammer shaping you into something stronger. The question is, will you resist the fire or rise from it? The next time criticism hits, pause. Don't defend, discern. Ask, is there truth in this pain? If yes, use it. If no, release it. The Stoic filters feedback like gold dust, keeping what's pure, discarding the rest. Criticism doesn't define you, it refines you. Remember, a sword that never meets resistance never cuts cleanly. Let discomfort sharpen you. Let feedback forge you. Because the goal is not to be untouchable, it's to become unbreakable. Principle 6. Reflection before reaction. Between what happens and how you respond lies a sacred space, your freedom. The Stoics mastered this pause. When insulted, they breathed. When provoked, they observed. They understood that reacting is instinct, but reflecting is strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." In that moment of stillness, anger loses its grip, fear loses its teeth, and wisdom steps forward. Your calm is not weakness, it's sovereignty. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." He was once a slave, beaten and broken, yet free in spirit. His master could control his body, not his thoughts. That's the heart of Stoicism. Control the controllable, release the rest. Reflection isn't avoidance, it's awareness. To respond with reason instead of impulse, that is true power. The mind, when calm, can turn any storm into silence. One night, A trembling messenger told Emperor Marcus Aurelius that his generals had betrayed him. The room fell silent. His guards expected fury. Instead, the emperor poured a cup of water and said, "Let's confirm before we condemn." He waited until morning. The rumor was false. That pause saved lives. Reaction destroys what reflection preserves. The Stoic understands that patience is not passivity, it's precision. To pause is to rule your mind before it rules you. In daily life, reflection begins with one breath. When anger rises, inhale awareness. When chaos erupts, exhale control. Right before you react, think before you post. The Stoics practiced journaling not as routine, but as warfare against impulsiveness. Each pause is a victory. Each moment of awareness is armor. Master that breath, and you master your destiny. Because calm isn't the absence of emotion, it's emotion disciplined by wisdom. Principle 7. Growth in discomfort. Comfort is sweet, but it dulls the soul. Discomfort, however, is the birthplace of transformation. Every Stoic knew this truth. The mind grows stronger when tested, the heart deepens when broken, the will sharpens when challenged. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The storm that shakes you is the same storm that sculpts you. Stop asking for ease, ask for endurance. Growth begins where comfort ends. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To the Stoic, pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every difficulty is a doorway to discipline. When life resists you, it's not rejecting you, it's refining you. The obstacle isn't an interruption of your path, it is the path. The fire that burns also hardens, and within that flame, your truest form takes shape. In ancient Rome, a young blacksmith once complained of his burns. His master smiled and said, "Steel that never meets fire will never shine." Each time the apprentice returned to the flames, his fear lessened and his skill deepened. When his sword was finally complete, it bore scars of heat, but it was unbreakable. The Stoics lived the same lesson. Adversity is not your enemy, it's your training ground. Every hardship is a forge, every scar a mark of becoming. In your own life, discomfort is not a sign to quit, it's a signal to awaken. The Stoics teach us to lean into the flame, not flee from it. When pain comes, don't curse it, converse with it. Ask what it's teaching you. The more you endure consciously, the more you expand inwardly. Strength doesn't bloom in ease, it's born in fire. So when life tests you, smile like a warrior of gold and whisper, "I am being forged." You began this journey chasing perfection and found presence instead. You learned that peace is not the absence of struggle, but the art of standing still within it. The Stoics showed us that the mind, when calm, can move mountains, that criticism, pain, and failure are not enemies, but sculptors. Every principle we've walked through, presence, progress, grace, reflection, and growth, points to one truth. You already have everything you need to live fully. You only need to remember it. You are not a victim of life's storms. You are their navigator. The Stoics remind us that everything can be taken from you except the freedom to choose your response. You may not control events, but you can always control meaning. Choose reflection over reaction, courage over comfort, progress over perfection. In every criticism lies a lesson. In every failure, a doorway. When life bends you, don't break, reshape. The power was never out there. It has always been within. Tonight, when the noise fades, sit in silence. Write one honest sentence about your day, not perfect, but true. Tomorrow, act with calm intention. Speak less, observe more. Turn every obstacle into opportunity, every critique into clarity, every fear into fuel. The Stoics didn't chase power, they practiced it. In their silence, they conquered themselves. So breathe deeply. You are not behind. You are becoming. Remember this, you are not here to perform. You are here to live, to be present, to walk through storms with calm eyes and a golden heart. Perfection fades, presence remains. The Stoic miracle is not in changing the world, but in mastering yourself. As Marcus wrote, "Look well within. Within is the fountain of good. Calm is your strength. Presence is your power. And your life, this very moment, is your masterpiece." This is Stoic Miracles.